The top five, and they're starting on this order in the grid, are Brendan Lee and Igor Fraga. They are the top two on the front row. And then on the second row, we're going to have Nicola Fiorini and Max Benecke, and they are going to be hoping, well, for them it's a case of consolidation perhaps. If they can try and stay in the top five in the points, they will be going to Abu Dhabi. At the moment, in that fifth place is Patrick Cruch. He's going to be driving the Red Bull car. Just outside the top five at the moment is Isaac Price. So he's going to be the first of the men really attacking to try and get into that top five. Then we've got seventh on the grid for Amos Lorito. He's going to be driving the Sauber. Graham Carroll, incredibly frustrated with how his first heat went and with how qualifying went. He wants to get back up the order, but he thinks it's going to be pretty much impossible from down there in eighth spot, the Scottish former Formula Ford champion. Then we've got Sebastian Dunkel down there in ninth place, and Miguel Ballesta in the Force India completing the top 10. But Brendan, well, we're just being told that there is light drizzle, because here comes the lights now. The first heat is underway in the F1 Esports competition. They're all on the intermediate tyres by the looks of things, and it's Brendan Lee in the Mercedes who gets the best start. Igor Fraga doesn't get away particularly well, but a really good start off the line from Brendan Lee. Big slide from the McLaren further back. Looks as though it's a great start from Patrick Cruch. He's come around the outside in the Red Bull and up into second position. Fraga now is trying to fight back as they all go side by side down into the hairpin right-hander, come out through the left-hander of Village and out onto the Wellington Straight for the first time. But Brendan Lee, Davide, a perfect getaway.
Was just perfect at the start to pull away from his places. He just controlled the wheel spin and took immediately the lead. Really well done from Brendan Lee. Wonderful start.
On board here with the Haas of Sebastian Dunkel, coming down into the left-hander of Brooklands for the first time. You can see them struggling for grip. All the F1 2017 games have this dynamic weather, so you don't know what the weather's going to be until the race starts. Now it's wet. We've been joined by our gaming expert, Matt Gallagher. Matt, it might not stay wet for the whole race.
Oh, yeah, that's where strategy comes straight into play. I mean, with the dynamic weather, as you say, it could easily dry out in 5-6 laps, but that's the thing we have to keep an eye on, is when it stops raining. And who is going to be the first to jump? I'm assuming, guys, it's going to be the ones that are trying to make those positions up to get to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, this is where you can make a gamble and try and make up places. So Brendan Lee pulling away, 2.3 seconds in the lead already. This is Igor Fraga we're on board with in the Toro Rosso, trying to chase down Patrick Cruch, because Fraga from second on the grid has dropped back. This is Nicola Fiorini we're on board with. He's running in fourth spot at the moment. This second, third and fourth all right together at the moment.
Yeah, they are all packaged. Look at it. It's important to this break. Last corner of the track, chicane, and have a check. Igor Fraga really close to Patrick. Maybe can have a chance at the end of the straight with the DRS open. Have a check because it's really close now.
Yep, here he comes then down towards the fast right-hander at Abbey. Cruch covers the inside line. Not really an overtaking opportunity there. We're on board with Fiorini. Here comes Fraga. He'll have the inside for the right-hand hairpin, and surely he's going to come through and take that second place unless Cruch can hang on around the outside, but he can't. Igor Fraga through. No, he can. He's still up the inside, the Red Bull. This is going to be Fiorini's chance in the Ferrari to try and take both of them now as they come out through the quick, flat-out left-hander of Aintree back onto the Wellington Straight. Cruch is going to have to defend again, coming down into Brooklands, and he's still just about holding the place, but already we're on lap 2 of 13. Brendan Lee's got a 4-second lead.
Brendan Lee, what a talent, because when you need the sensibility, when you need the talent, one track, first lap, he made just the difference. So
because he's taken his socks off.
Maybe. Well done to Brendan Lee. Wonderful drive. But have a check, because now the battle is really wonderful. And have a check. 7th gear, exit of this corner, going into the maggots.
Here they come then into Maggots and Beckett's in these wet, slippery conditions on their intermediate tyres. There goes the Mercedes of Brendan Lee. He has checked out up at the front. He's now 5 seconds clear, but Igor Fraga and Nicolo Fiorini just can't get past Patrick Cruch at the moment. 5th is Amos Lorito, 6th Miguel Ballesta, who's done well, having started in 10th. Then we've got Max Benecke behind in 7th, Isaac Price 8th, 9th for Sebastian Dunkel, and Graham Carroll still struggling down in 10th spot. We're on board with our race leader, Brendan Lee. Now we're with Igor Fraga in 3rd spot, half a second behind. Where's that Ferrari? Oh, a little bit out of shape onto the brakes. The Ferrari is right there of Fiorini. And has he got the undercut here? Has he got the underneath and the inside line? Yes, he has. Nice move into club by Fiorini. They're still side by side coming towards Abbey. Who's going to be bravest here? It's the Ferrari. So Nicola Fiorini moves up into 3rd position. It's still not over yet, though.
No, and now there is the break of the 90 degrees on the right, and look at it! On the outside, Fiorini tried to maintain the position to Braga, that tried to cross the line to have a better exit. Have a check if you can get the position. No.
Opposite lock all the way. You could see the wheel turning to the right as the car was going to the left. On board we go again then with Igor Fraga, who started in second, the man who's leading the Brazilian Formula 3 Championship Academy class in real life, is now running in fourth place, having dropped a couple of positions. And this was all good news. They're battling. It's great news for that Red Bull in second place of Patrick Krujj, because he was under big pressure. Now it's calmed down for a moment. Lap 3 of 13.
It's also positive for him because he just finished 5th in the previous race. Patrick Krujj now is 2nd, so it means for him getting to Abu Dhabi, really good position for him, that he just needs to control it to maintain the concentration, because on wet it's so easy to make a mistake.
Now Nicola Fiorini has caught the back of Patrick Krujj and is right behind him in that battle for second spot. This is Igor Fraga still in the Toro Rosso. Now we go on board with Fiorini as he comes out now onto the Hangar Straight and down towards Copse Corner. The 16-year-old Italian we're on board with from Ardeno, up in the north of Italy near Switzerland. He's the youngest man in the competition and he's an architecture student. There you go.
What a line! He's an architect, a perfect line at the stall. He just gained 20 meters going on the inside and using the better line to the rival. Now he's getting closer.
One person you want to keep an eye out for is Miguel Balest in 6th. He finished 10th in the Heat 1, which means he has to pretty much finish second place if he wants to have any chance of getting on that plane to Abu Dhabi. As it looks, in terms of the weather, it is still pretty much coming down. You can only expect that from British weather, and that is very close from Fiorini. It looks like he's got the pace to potentially, well, you would say try and catch Brendan, but he's 8 seconds clear.
Yeah, incredible lead, but now here's the opportunity for Nicola Fiorini as he comes out and down the back straight. He's tucked right into the slipstream of Patrick Krujj because it's the wet. There isn't any DRS allowed, so he's got to do this old-fashioned if he wants to get past into second place. And Krujj has gone in very, very deep. He'll still have the inside for Luffield. There can be more grip on the outside of the circuit, but he's still holding on, Patrick Krujj, and all the way around the outside at Luffield. What a move from Nicola Fiorini. He goes up into second place, 9 seconds back from Brendan Lee, but what a move, Davide.
That was perfect. You said it. He needs to do it all time, and he made it. Really well down outside, and then again. Really wonderful, the move from the Italian.
So let's see whether Patrick Krujj in the third place that we are on board with now, through the left, the right, the left, the right, the right, and the left again of Maggots and Beckett's through Chapel. Can he stay with Fiorini, or is he going to come under pressure from Fraga behind? That is the next question that we're going to be finding out the answer to. The 21-year-old Polish driver. This, meanwhile, is Miguel Balesta, the man Matt mentioned a moment ago that we need to keep an eye out for. He's now trying to pass Amos Lorito, and he's going up the inside into Stowe. Little bit too far back that time. Might give him the opportunity on the run down into Vale. The 23-year-old Spaniard looks to the inside. Not quite close enough at the moment.
Did you saw? He locked the front inside the tire, easy at that brake to lock the front and lose the direction of your car. Now he's close. Maybe he can.
Oh! Big switch there from Balesta. Just holds it and stays in the rear wing of that Sauber, but he needs to get past sooner rather than later because he's 6 seconds back from Igor Fraga in fourth place. Are we going to have a late lunge? Late. Oh! Contact! The Sauber slides. Just about gets through. The Sauber's still on the inside line of Lorito, and he holds the place. That was a long way back to try that attack.
Maybe Miguel, yeah, he was too positive because he tried, but maybe it was too far. Seems better the situation now, the condition, because he can go easily on the inside.
Easy peasy then. That's what Davide reckons as they come up the inside into Brooklands. And it's right. So through goes the Force India. Miguel Balesta up into 5th spot then. So Brendan Lee still leading. Nicola Fiorini in 2nd. Patrick Krujj in 3rd. 4th for Igor Fraga. And now Miguel Balesta up into 5th position as it stands. Then we've got Lorito, Beneke, Price, Dunkel and Carroll completing the top 10 on lap 5 of 13.
He's going to risk Miguel Balesta. That move maybe was too extreme. He's going to risk the judgment of the marshal.
Yep, absolutely. After this, as Alex Le Guy was saying earlier on, there is an adjudication room, glamorous as it sounds, and that's where everybody will be inspecting moves like that and deciding whether any penalties are needed to be awarded. Fastest man at the moment, Brendan Lee, a 1:43.379. He's a second a lap quicker than anyone else on the race circuit. Incredible pace here from the race leader. And, well, miles ahead of everyone.
Look, more than 9.9 seconds. Whoa, what a lap! But destroy the mentality of the rivals.
Yeah.
Just at the first lap, because when you saw your rival that took so a big advantage just at the beginning, he just lose a bit of positivity.
Yeah, indeed. This is the 7th place man of Max Beneke. Now we're on board with Amos Larito as he makes his way down towards the hairpin right-hander once more. And he's not too far behind Ballesta, but he is getting away. Larito, the 21-year-old Italian YouTuber and Genoa, he always kisses the wheel before the start of the race, but it's not working out for him here. He's down in 6th spot and outside the top 5 at the moment. His favourite driver, Adrian Sutil.
Adrian Sutil, oh,
a random one.
Pick it up.
Lap 6 of 13, Brendan Lee leading the way, 10.1 seconds clear. And so as it stands, the top 5 that we're looking at on the track would be the top 5 in the championship after the first 2 heats and would be going through to Abu Dhabi. That's as it stands. Still a long, long way to go, though. Lap 6 of 13, 10.4 seconds the gap between Brendan Lee and Nicola Fiorini. Patrick Kuch still in 3rd place and quite comfortable in front of Igor Fraga. I thought we might see some more pace from Fraga over the course of this race, but it's certainly, Matt, starting to dry up. Now, these guys will have to come into the pits at some point, but presumably they'll want to stay out as late as possible so they can switch to dries.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one because you've got the guys that are going to be desperate to get into that top 5. So they're going to be making risks. They're going to probably see it still raining. But they've got to give it something. They've got to try something different because if they haven't got the pace on the inters, they really have to throw their luck out there and hope something comes back. But right now it's still raining, which means that dries are going to be completely useless. And it's all down to just being consistent in the wet. You'll see that guys are making mistakes here and there, but the ones that just hit in the apex is taking it easy. Brendan Lee, for example, doesn't look like he's taking it easy. He's 11 seconds ahead, and there's only one thing for that, and that's consistency.
Davide, were you good in the wet or a bit? Not so much.
Maybe like Brendan Lee. No, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, because the level today is so high that it's not easy to understand how you compete with these fantastic drivers.
Here we go, on board with Amos Larito, still in 6th place, and Ballesta caught and passed him, but Larito hasn't given it up. Is it an advantage to follow another car in these conditions? Because you can see where they're braking, you can see where they're on the power.
Yeah, you're right, because it seems that they take the reference and get easier for them to try to follow the car in front of him. Sometimes it's not easy because you have the spray and sometimes take out a bit of visibility, but look, for Larito seems that having the reference of the car in front of him makes him quicker.
Lap 7 of 13 then, this is the first heat. And so we are about to get our first 5 who will be on the plane to Abu Dhabi for the F1 Esports final. Another 3 races to go after this one as well. Brendan Lee is the man leading the way at the moment, and comfortably the quickest man on the circuit. Again, a second quicker than anyone else on that last lap. We are on board with Amos Larito, running in 6th spot at the moment, trying to get back past Miguel Ballesta after Ballesta made a good move on him a couple of laps ago. You can see Max Beneke in the McLaren behind, and then further back is the Renault of Isaac Price, but 10.6 seconds on lap 8 of 13 is the advantage for Brendan Lee.
You can see where he's special. He can use the curb also with wet. His driving style is just perfect. Look how he controls the steering wheel and the wheel spin at the exit of corner with just controlling the oversteer. This man is using everything, single centimeter of the track. He's just special today. And he just adjusts the braking balance there on the steering wheel. Well done.
Lap 8 of 13, Brendan Lee, 18-year-old from Reading, was a motocross racer as a child, but ran out of budget, so got into sim racing, calls himself an attacking driver, and we're certainly seeing an attacking performance here. 12 seconds ahead of Niccolo Fiorini. Now here's the battle for 5th place again. Amos Larito right up behind Miguel Ballesta as they come down the Wellington Straight. Ballesta in the Force India covers the inside line. Larito will try and go all the way around the outside and then use a bit of a slingshot into Luffield, but he's just trying to get Ballesta offline a little bit somewhere.
Yeah, maybe he had the wrong choice there because he was just behind him. It's better to move a bit away from the stream in front of you to have a free head, but it's incredibly important for them this race because Ballesta in the first race he just finished last, so it's incredibly important to end it up 5th to have some chance to go to Abu Dhabi.
What's interesting is that if Lorito takes Ballesta and Beneke loses a position to Price, who is right behind him, they'll be level on points on 5th place if my maths, or is not, if my maths is correct, which is never my strong point, but I've taken quite a while to look at that. But either way, so they're going to be level on points, so I'm not sure who will go ahead.
And then it comes down to combined fastest lap from the 2 races.
Right.
So the fastest, their fastest lap in race 1 and their fastest lap in race 2 added together, whoever has the quickest time goes through to Abu Dhabi. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on, because we're on board here with Isaac Price, who's going in a little bit deep into Vale. So if Price passes the car in front and Lorito passes the car in front, it looks as though Lorito and Beneke will be joint on points. I'm trusting you with the maths because I'm a commentator, because I failed my maths A-level. That's literally a true story. So you're in charge of the maths here.
I'm interested to understand who is going to beat first, because look at this group. They are all together. Maybe running in free air can give the chance to someone else to improve his lap time and to try to gain position to the rivals.
We're on board with Max Beneke. Now, he'll maybe not know quite those calculations, but he will know it's important to get past this Sauber in front.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's just going to be full out attack. We've only got a few laps left of this race. It's flown by already. We're nearly at the end of this 13-lap race, and it's still raining. That's the crucial thing here. We're not going to see anyone dive into the pits. This is all about overtaking now.
Lap 9 of 13. Brendan Lee leading the way by 13.6 seconds. To Nicola Fiorini in 2nd place. Patrick Crouch is 6 seconds further back. Igor Fraga 5 seconds further back. Miguel Ballesta 11 seconds further back. And then you've got this fantastic battle from 5th downwards. So this particular heat a little bit spread out at the front, but no doubt we're going to see some even tighter action later on in this first F1 Esports semi-final. Look how close Beneke is now to the back of Amas Lorito, out onto the hangar straight.
It was fantastic. The line maybe lost a bit of traction, and he lost a bit the chance to try to overtake the rival at the end of the straight, at the break of the stall. Important, the exit of the corner, because later on you have the main straight, and it's there where you can attack.
Now, we were talking about pitting and when are they going to pit. Well, in the wet conditions you don't have to pit. In the dry conditions you have to use 2 compounds of tyres like in real life, but here you don't have to pit, so they'd only pit if it was drying up, and at the moment it's still not drying up now. They're
pushing the tyres though, going a full race distance on the inters. That could be hurting them towards the end of the race, so it will be kind of highlighting which drivers have saved their tyres towards the end of this race. And if there's anyone that's really quick, then those are the people that have really been conservative and maybe been following this battle. Perhaps Isaac Price here, following and watching this battle. That's so close into that corner. Maximilian trying to get through.
Yep, not able to do so. We're on board with the McLaren driver in 7th place, trying to get past Amas Lorito up into 6th position. If he did manage to do so, he would put himself in a prime position to go through into Abu Dhabi. Miguel Ballesta in 5th is the one man who at the moment, because of that first race result, is missing out. Look at that nose to tail, almost nudging each other around Luffield. We go back on board with Beneke. Little bit of oversteer as he comes out of that right-hander at Luffield through the flat-out kink at Woodcut down towards Kopp's corner, but he's not going to be quite close enough still. He's very, very keen to get up into 6th place. Really quick through Kopp's. Magnificent stuff. Is he going to look side by side into Magnus and Beckes? This is brave stuff. And he decides maybe that's not a great idea.
But he's getting there. He's getting there because he could understand the line of the rival, and he's doing better. Important this exit. Extremely important to have the chance on the main straight, and he looks good.
And he's there. And Isaac Price is right behind. Here comes Isaac Price. He's going to try and take both of them. Beneke has to cover the inside line. Isaac Price picks up a double slipstream. We're on board with the McLaren who just holds on to that 7th spot. Here comes Price now, trying to get to the inside line. Beneke covers it off. Around the outside is a brave one at Vale. Might get the inside for Club, but not quite. Despite these two fights, a little bit of a twitch there from Beneke. But still Isaac Price can't quite get through. And this has given Amas Lorito a little bit of breathing space in that Sauber.
Yeah, you're right. It just wasn't help, Isaac Price, for Lorito, because he gave to him the space to control the race and to be under pressure to the car behind him. But have a look here. Different, completely different light between the drivers.
On board again with Isaac Price, running in that 8th position as it stands. Doesn't look as though he'll be doing enough to go through to Abu Dhabi. He finished 6th in the first heat and running 8th in this one, so that's not enough points to send him to the finals. As they come into the left-hander now of Brooklands, the 23-year-old from Gloucester, a data analyst. started racing after breaking his ankle in karting and wanted to do a bit of racing, and now here he is racing in the F1 Esports semi-final in London, but also in Silverstone.
I tell you what, Jack, it's starting to dry out here. So towards the end of this race, these inters won't work potentially on this track, as he runs very wide at the exit of Copse. But I don't think there's much rain in the sky from what I can see, which means maybe lap 13, these drivers are going to start sliding around everywhere.
Important the exit for Maximilian. That seems much quicker now than the car in front of him, much quicker than Laurito, but he never had the chance to try the attack in brake.
All this means Miguel Ballester in 5th place is pulling away 2.2 seconds up the road from Amas Laurito in 6th position as they come down into the Vale once again. And Brendan Lee, super late on the brakes, so close to the back of Laurito. Is that going to be Isaac Price's opportunity to get a good run? Not quite. Brendan Lee onto the penultimate lap of the race. These guys now starting their second to last lap of this semi-final. Brendan Lee 15.5 seconds clear up at the front. Patrick Crouch still in second, Nicola Fiorini still in second spot. Patrick Crouch in third. Igor Fraga in fourth. Miguel Ballester in fifth. It's this 6th, 7th and 8th place battle that's kept in the day. Oh, that's very late in the day. Up the inside goes Beneka. The Sauber still hanging on around the outside as they come towards Aintree. Still side by side. Now down the Wellington straight. Isaac Price a little bit far back. But it looks as though Laurito is holding onto the spot at the moment. The McLaren super late on the brakes. Laurito tries to go around the outside. He's still going to have the inside line. They're going to have a contact here. They both slide. And this is Isaac Price, who's got a grandstand view of it all kicking off in front of him. They're still side by side about 5 corners later as they come towards Copse.
And Laurito is on the inside, so he has the advantage for Copse. Oh, he's still in front.
So Laurito holding on to that 6th spot. Beneka in 7th, Isaac Price in 8th. But Brendan Lee now is onto his final lap of the race. But we can't take our eyes away from this fantastic battle all over 6th spot. And Beneka in that McLaren, he's just sending in every corner he can.
Yeah, you're right, but Laurito is stronger where he needs. Exit of the corner.
He's got DRS as well.
So the DRS opens now this time as they come down towards Stowe Corner. He's not going to be quite close enough. Looks to the inside. Isaac Price is going to get a good run here through Stowe. Will he try and lunge one down into Vale? So the race director obviously happy that it's getting dry enough that the DRS is now able to be used, just like in real Formula 1. They're about to come through and start the final lap of the race, but Beneka is putting that McLaren on the curbs, on the grass, just desperate to try and find a way past.
Yeah, it's not so easy for him to just follow the car in front of him, so close to him, you lose a bit of downforce, and he's struggling with the steering, and maybe also with the gyros, because they are intermediate with the track that is dry.
Oh, late in the day, Isaac Price, and they hit! Isaac Price is sent spinning around, and he drops down the order. I think the McLaren just about got away with it off Beneka. No, he's not. He's facing the wrong way. So Beneka sent tumbling down the order. This could hand Amas Laurito a shot on the plane to Abu Dhabi because Beneka has lost only one position. I think that's the key. He hasn't dropped behind Sebastian Dunkel, so he might still be going to Abu Dhabi. We'll have to wait for the adjudicators for that one. But all that excitement has been kicking off behind, and it has not bothered this man.
He's down to 9th.
And he's down to 9th, Beneka. But none of that has affected this man, Brendan Lee, who out through the final corner is going to win at Silverstone. A superb drive from the 18-year-old Finnish driver, and he now surely is on his way to Abu Dhabi. A little Vettel #1, a superb drive.
Really wonderful. His drive was just wonderful. Here with Maximilian, he's struggling to get...
Yeah, it looks as though he's got a problem. There's Nicola Fiorini across the line in 2nd place. 3rd is going to be the Red Bull of Patrick Crouch. And then 4th is Igor Fraga. But that drama late on may well mean that Max Beneka, who started in 4th place, may well have dropped now out of the top 5 positions in the championship. All of the actual mathematicians will be getting to work backstage to figure out the permutations, and no doubt as well there'll be a look from the adjudicators about what went on there. This is on board with Miguel Ballester, who started 10th, finished 5th. Good drive.
Good drive, perfect drive for him. We need to underline that Isaac Price, when he tried the attack, was really too far, and so for sure he's going to be penalized. But let me say that Brendan Lee just destroyed the race, destroyed the rivals with a wonderful showing of talent. Well done for Brendan.
Yeah, absolutely superb stuff from Brendan Lee. He was about 2 seconds in the lead at the end of that first lap, and you can see the conditions now very, very close to dry tyres. But, of course, the race has finished, and there is a look. Oh, it's a left rear puncture. Puncture for the McLaren. So some contact in that accident, and that, as a result, is why Max Beneke is crawling back around. Here comes Graham Carroll, and he's already taken the checker flag because I think he was a lap down on race leader Brendan Lee. But there is Brendan Lee punching the air in his Lewis Hamilton car. How many times have we seen the 44 Mercedes take victory at Silverstone? Now it's with Brendan Lee at the wheel. A superb drive. Nicola